Hello and welcome to the next video. This video is going to have a couple of different things. We're going to talk about active listening and what that means for you when we're in a conversation or when we're attending to something. You have been having some time now where you have had some different people teaching you and some different people working with you. And maybe you are listening to some more videos, or you're listening to somebody else talk about something that maybe they usually wouldn't talk about. It is good to be an active listener, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. The other thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to read you one or two short stories, just depending on how much time it takes. And then we will be able to talk a little bit about what active listening looks like in some stories. So when you are active listening, what I want you to be doing is asking yourself questions about what's going to happen next in the story or the conversation. So for example, somebody might tell me that they had a rough weekend. I might wonder, why did they have a rough weekend? Was it something to do with family or a pet? Or did they get in a car accident? Or did they fall down? Maybe they had a rough weekend for any of those things. It might be too that they got sick. So there are a lot of reasons why someone might have had a rough weekend. And I can ask myself a lot of questions about what I think it could be before they tell me. So when you're having a conversation with someone, that's a good time to be asking yourself some questions. That's a good part of active listening. Another thing that you can do is you can actually take that listening aspect and you can turn it into communication. You can use your device to ask what or why or something like that, because you might find out a lot more information that way. I know I've had some conversations with you where you've asked, how are you doing? And I might be honest with you and I might say, oh, I'm pretty stressed out today, and here's why, or something. Or I've had sometimes someone ask, what are you going to do this weekend? Or what did you do last weekend? Or what did you do last night? And so then I might respond with a lot of things that will add to the conversation. So it's always good to ask some of those questions while you are talking to someone, especially if they've said something that's piqued your interest. So here is a story. I am about to share it. There it is. So here is a visual. Here we see a crane. If you're looking at my mouse, you can see a crane. And over here you can see a wolf. And you might wonder what's going to happen here. It looks like the wolf is angry. He does not look happy. The crane looks a little bit scared. Maybe the wolf is just ready. Like maybe he's going to go and try to catch the crane and eat it because he's a wolf, so he might do that. The other thing that might happen is maybe the crane said something that the wolf didn't like very much. And maybe too, the wolf is just concentrating on something that's happening. Or needs some help, and the crane is looking like maybe he wants to help him. So let's read the story and find out what happened and what made them have those expressions. A wolf had been feasting too greedily, and a bone had stuck crosswise in his throat. Have you ever gotten something stuck in your throat? You can think back and think about a time that you got something stuck in your throat. I know sometimes you just have some like gunk in your throat, and you have to cough and get it out. You might also have some food that gets stuck in your throat and you need something to either wash it down or again, you need to cough it out. And this wolf, he could get it neither up nor down. And of course he could not eat a thing. So that's really not a good deal for a wolf. It sounds like it didn't say anything about him not being able to breathe. So it's not something that's going to make him die quickly or anything. He's not having trouble breathing, but he is having trouble with just getting it out and being able to eat again. So that would be pretty frustrating. It says, naturally, that was an awful state of affairs for a greedy wolf. my question now is, what's going to happen to this wolf? Is he going to be able to get it out, or is he going to have trouble? Is he going to starve? And who's going to help him? And how are they going to help him to get it out? And how will he respond to that? Is he going to do some sort of a favor for them after? So we'll see what happens. So away he hurried to the crane. He was sure that she, with her long neck and bill, would easily be able to reach the bone and pull it out. I will reward you very handsomely, said the wolf, if you pull that bone out for me. Oh, that's pretty cool. So the wolf did say that he would give the crane a reward. That's something that I wondered about. What's the wolf going to do to thank whoever pulls it out? And it was smart of the wolf to think that the crane would be able to help him, because, yeah, if you look, you can see that this crane has a pretty long neck. You could see him kind of fitting down in there, down in his throat, and that would probably work out. It's kind of like if you think about the tools that a dentist has, they can reach way into the back of your mouth without really bothering you. It's kind of the same kind of thing in what I'm seeing, what I'm picturing. Okay, is there going to be a problem now? The crane, as you can imagine, was very uneasy about putting her head in the wolf's throat. Well, that makes sense. The wolf is a predator. The crane could get eaten by this wolf. But she was grasping in nature, so she did what the wolf asked her to do. When the wolf felt the bone was gone, he started to walk away. Oh, man, the wolf did not do what he was supposed to do. Wasn't he going to give the crane a reward? I wonder how the crane was going to react, what the crane was going to do. But what about my reward? Called the crane anxiously. What? Snarled the wolf, whirling around. Haven't you got it? Isn't it enough that I let you take your head out of my mouth without snapping it off? So that's probably not a very nice thing for the wolf to do, because he would have really been in bad shape if the crane hadn't helped him. But it is a good lesson too about that there are some people out there that you would have to put things into a contract in order to really know that they're going to follow through on what they say they're going to do. So for example, we have our IEPs, and they're kind of like a contract. And we teachers always kind of say, well, if it's not in your binder, it's not going to happen. So sometimes we might even put things in your binder that aren't part of your IEP, but we just want to make sure that those things are happening every day. Just things that you maybe have previously worked on and stuff like that. But just for you to be able to continue to work on those things, we might want to keep seeing that data come just so that it happens. It's kind of, that's the way that works. And the moral is, expect no reward for serving the one who has no honor. Again, right, you have to be careful of people who don't have a sense of honor, like the wolf. He didn't really have a sense of honor. He's not a very nice person. He eats all the other animals, and so you might think then maybe I shouldn't trust this guy. Just like it's important to be careful around other people too. Be careful about who you're willing to talk to out in the community. Some people are just willing to take advantage of anybody. Staying in a company of selfish people will not do anyone any favor. Yeah, so if you've got a friend that all they're looking for is just to do, or to be your friend so that they can get something out of you or something like that, that's really not going to be a good friend for you. So at that point, you know, you really want to just stay away from those people. So that's a little bit about active listening. You kind of heard that as I was going through the story, I was asking myself questions. And I was talking through what it might look like if you were asking some questions too. So a little active listening assignment for you. I have something that is going to come to my house, and that's going to happen soon. And if you would like, I can share some pictures with of what that's going to be, but I'm going to need you to ask what first. Ask some questions. So you can talk to your staff or your parents, and I'm going to kind of wait for some email replies. And if somebody says that somebody has asked what, then I will show you what it is that's coming to my house in a video to come. So go ahead and do that. That's going to be your assignment for today. And if your parents see that you are asking what it is, or if you make a guess as to what it is, that will be something that I can show you in one of these next few videos. So have a great day. We miss you, and we hope that we'll all be back soon, or back together soon. Hope that you're having a good day, and continue to advocate for yourself, and remember to be an active listener.